All right. Well, great evening, great day, great whatever it is when you are watching the replay. And hey to you ladies who are here live. I hope everybody is doing good. Today is Thursday, November the 9th, and we are here for our second 1K Club meeting. So every single Thursday, same time, same place, 7 o'clock Eastern, we'll meet on this Zoom to talk about whatever you will need to help you get to your next level, help you get to that $1,000 in paid commissions. And I'm really excited, you all, because this is the best time of year to really continue pushing forward, to get more customers, to get more eyes on your social media pages, to get more engagement. The holiday season is like the best. And right now, what we're going to talk about tonight and what's really happening is everybody's looking for a deal. I even had people reach out to me, like former clients reach out recently saying, hey, where are the Black Friday deals? And I'm like, I got you. You need to be in my VIP Facebook group. Like, let's move you into the community. And so people are ready. They're ready to buy, or at least they're ready to window shop. And so that means that they're ready for us. And we just got to put ourselves out there. But I'm going to first and foremost take questions. So whatever questions you all have, you can unmute and ask. You can put them in the chat if you're not able to unmute, or if you have a noisy background, and we'll do questions and answers first, and then we'll dive into some strategies for you all. And I'm gonna double check I didn't see any questions on the Facebook page, but I will double check that as well. All right. Any questions at all? No? All right, no worries. No worries. All right, is anybody closer to hitting their 1K mark than they were this time last week? Did you do anything that worked, anything that didn't work that you need help tweaking? Go ahead, Portia.
I did get a booking, but I was surprised at the commission amount.
Surprise good or surprise bad?
Surprise bad.
Oh, okay. What vendor was it? Like or you don't have to say the
It
vendor, what type of vacation?
it was a mother and daughter going to Vegas.
Mhm.
Um, and they are the the booking itself was like 1,500 or something like that.
Mhm.
And the commission ended up being like $25. Right. That's my face right there, Tiffany. That's my face. That was my face.
Okay, sure. All right. Let's uh there's always a strategy. Okay. Number one, if the price is that high and the commission is that low, then it tells me a lot of that price is airfare that you may not be getting paid for. So that's going to be part of the deal.
Okay.
Another thing that tells me is number one, we need to make this a bigger bundle.
Okay.
So where we may be selling airfare and hotel on the strip to Vegas, let's sell airfare and private round trip transfers and Cirque du Soleil and a dining card and travel insurance. Let's beef it up with a lot of value so that we can get your commission up, because ew. Okay, no, all jokes aside, look, for somebody who was booking their first trip would love to have that trip. So I don't want to like poo-poo any size commission, but we know at the end of the day, the goal is 1K and beyond, and we don't want you to have to book 50 trips to get to your $1,000 in commission. So, how do you feel about bundling? Do you feel like that would be something
I
that you could add for your client?
I do, and I actually the the booking was the hotel, the flight, the travel insurance, but it was not. She didn't want Allianz. She
Okay.
wanted what they had.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So the travel insurance, and then she has the transportation from the airport to the hotel and back
Okay.
on there. But that's the not the private, that's the van
Okay.
that's making a couple of stops.
Does she have room in her budget that you can add in some excursions and some experiences for her?
I did talk to her about the excursions, and I gave her the Viator link
Hmm.
to look at and try and decipher if she wanted to add those on.
Okay.
Uh, and bef- she did her final payment already, but I'm gonna go back to her and see
Mhm.
if she wants to, since she's had some time to look over what they had to offer, if she wants to add any of those to it.
Okay. Okay. And I'm also going to suggest, and this is for everyone, in in addition to doing what you're doing, Portia, which is great, I
Mhm.
also, if you're able, you make suggestions. So you want
Okay.
to be in a driver's seat, and you know that if you want this person to have the best experience based off of your consultation, based off your conversation with her, and finding out what do you like to do, what have you always wanted to do, is there anything on your bucket list? I don't care if we got to send you to the spa in the desert, or if we're gonna put you on a zip line off of a hotel, but like there's gonna be something that she can do in Vegas that's going to be super memorable, and that you can book it on the front end. So if she
Okay.
comes back and she's like, no, I didn't see anything, then I want you to just take that extra step. You're like, okay, because here are actually my top two suggestions for you, and here's why. I think you would love
Okay.
this or love that. What we don't want is for our client to get to Vegas and then somebody on the strip pitch them the way that we should have. And then she buys the excursion in Vegas and she's like, oh my gosh, I always wanted to do ATVs. But she
Uh-huh.
should have booked it with you and you should have gotten
Uh-huh.
it. I don't want that part to happen.
Okay. Okay.
Awesome.
I'll do that.
Yes. All right. Laquanda asked a great question. How is making a bundle package? How is that done? So typically you were booking in VAX, did you say? Okay. So booking in VAX for me is one of my favorite ways to do packages to Vegas and to do bundles, because you can just add in anything. So you can at first do like you'll have the flights and the hotel that you pick first. You can add in rental cars, you can add in excursions right from that same screen. You can add in sometimes dining packages, all type of things for, I mean, I would be in golden tickets also, getting some Usher tickets or new editions heading to Vegas, like just all whatever you want to do to make it a really great experience. You can do that. So excellent question. Does anyone else have any questions? Where the floor is open to you all right now. So any questions that I can assist with on your road to 1K, you all have the space to ask whatever you need to ask right now. And then we're going to talk about Black Friday in just a little bit.
Hi, good evening. This is
Hey,
Michelle.
Michelle.
Hey. So, okay. When booking or putting together a package like for Vegas, like Usher or New Edition, how do I do that?
So I would do the ticket separately. Like if you're gonna do like golden tickets or any other vendor that sells like concert tickets and things like
So
that,
I would pick the seat.
I would.
Okay.
You can do it. You can do it two ways. I know that there's some agents that will just here. Okay, here's a good way to do it. Go to your golden tickets affiliate link, navigate yourself to
Mhm.
the Usher concert, and then take that URL and send it to your guests. So when they click it, it pulls up the event, it pulls up the date, and then they can pick their ticket. That's one easy way to do it. If you have
Mhm.
a client that's just like, look, I don't know, here's my budget is this, and just give me
Mhm.
that seat, then you can take those extra steps and say, all right, I got you something in row this, in section this. Um, I'm going to send over your credit card authorization form. Here's a picture of the seating map. Like there's some people that you may have to go those extra steps for, because that's why they want to use a travel advisor. They're like, I don't know anything about anything. And then you're some
Mhm.
people that just want your guidance, and then they're ready to push the button on their side. So you could do either one. You could do either one. But
Okay.
I would never send somebody my link and tell them to find it. because that
Okay.
room for error. I would navigate to that
Okay.
specific concert date, the specific time, and send them that link so that we're both on the
Okay.
same page as to when you're going to this concert.
Got it. And with regards to, like, say if I wanted to put together a whole package, like the flight, the air, how would you recommend, or would you recommend doing something like that?
I highly recommend it. If you are into Vegas, if your audience will, and we'll stay on the Usher concert for this. I would make a little PDF in Canva or something promoting, I've got Usher concert packages, see it before the residency ends, and I would do hotel on the strip, plus like I would put all of the things that are going to be included, but say that prices and availability are subject to change until the
Okay.
deposits are made. So I would personally look and see, all right, I've got a 3-star hotel that I'm going to promote. I've got a 4, it may be a 5-star hotel that I'm going to promote. Based off of the people that come to me, I know I'm going to put them in one of these 3 spaces. That's how I operate, because I like to use my time the way that I want to use it. So instead of searching all of the hotel options every single time someone wants to come to Vegas, I have my favorites. And I kind of
Got
do
it.
the same even for all-inclusive resorts, right? I have my favorites, and based off of my travel consultation, if the customer fits into one of my favorites, that's what I pitch them. If the customer comes and that's not going to be a good fit, then yeah, start it from scratch. But I would always come to the table with something. I feel like a lot of times clients have information overload already. They've already tried to research it on their own. They failed. Now they're coming to a travel advisor. So they don't necessarily want an advisor coming and saying, here, pick from these 10 things and tell me they're already like, can you just tell me what to do? And then I'll give you my credit card, and then I'll have this awesome vacation. And so you can position yourself and be the expert by just saying, here are the top 3 places that I'm going to send you. This is what my package is going to look like. You're going to have your flights, your hotel, your transportation. You're going to have dining money. You're going to have a show. You're going to have a great, great time. And is there anything else that you would like me to add into this package? But the base package includes all this stuff. And when
Okay.
you bundle it, and this is for everyone, no matter what area of travel you're booking, when you bundle, it makes it that much less likely that your client is going to go out and try to shop you around. If you just booking somebody with a hotel, they're going to go on the hotel website and see, is Michelle's price better than if I booked it on Hilton myself? But if you're coming with these 5 things in a package, the average person is not about to go sit there and try to piece it together on their own just to make sure that you save them every last penny that could have been saved. And if they do that, that's a whole nother conversation.
One more thing.
Mhm.
So I have this client, and she wants to celebrate her 55th birthday next year in March. And she's like indecisive, uncertain. She's like, well, maybe a cruise, but she really wants to do like she wants to go to Aruba, she wants to do a villa. So I sent her pricing on quotes on maybe like 2 villas, and then just in case, because my suggestion was, she says, well, I don't have a budget. Everyone has a budget, but me knowing her circumstances, I suggested a cruise. You get that all in one kit and caboodle. And so she's like in agreement. So I sent her a quote on a cruise, and she's like, well, the villa is too much. No, I don't want to do that. How would you handle someone like that?
Why is it too much? You don't have a budget. What do you mean?
Thank you. But me knowing her circumstances, it's like, okay, I
So
know. I know the struggle is real.
Whenever someone tells me that they don't have a budget, I immediately push back and say, okay, so if I find the perfect package for you and it's 10,000, is that going to be an acceptable price? And if they're like, no, absolutely not. Okay, what's your budget? What's your
Okay.
range? Are we like $1,000 to $2,000? Are we like $500 to $600? Like, help me help you. And sometimes we just have to be real with people. And that's you knowing your client, if you can be a little sassy, or, you know, a lot of times I like to have those conversations over the phone or voice memo, because text messages can be misunderstood and somebody may be offended by you responding in a certain way if they're reading it with the, you know, with their own interpretation. But if you know that this person's budget is now a cruise budget, you want to go to one of the most expensive islands, then you want a villa. So you're also going to have to buy your own food. You're going to get your own transportation. You're going to go to the activity. You're going to find activities to do, because I'm sure you're not going to Aruba just to stay inside the villa itself. So there are a lot of extra factors that sometimes people don't consider. And we see it a lot because people see something on YouTube, or they hear about a destination and, oh, I gotta go to Tulum. My budget's $800. No, like, you know what I mean? But so I love that you're rerouting her to take a cruise, and you can sell the value of that cruise experience. Look, not only are you going to Aruba, but you're going to all of the ABC islands. You're going to do this. You're going to have unlimited food. We can include a drink package inside of your budget. So I would really promote the value and what she's going to get by taking that cruise, and then tell her, and when you get off the ship and you see Aruba, I want you to do an excursion. I want you to experience it. And then if you love it, next year, we're going to book you a land package to Aruba. So you're
Good.
going on a cruise to scout it out. And then if you come back and tell me that that's your favorite island, then we're going to put something together for you. But you may come back and tell me that you want to stay at Curacao. And now look, we done saved you a lot of heartache. So I would stay in the driver's seat for that conversation, because she does have a budget. But I think that you hit the nail on the head. She needs to go on a cruise.
Yes.
Aruba is a must have them. She needs to go. She's to go on a cruise, and she'll be fine. Do you know what cruise line you're gonna send her on?
She prefer Royal.
Okay.
I even considered Virgin.
That's what I was gonna suggest. Yeah.
But then she made a statement, well, I don't want to pay $2,000 per person for a room. Sounds like a budget to me, right? So I kind of backed off of her, you know. I backed off of her, like, you know, the Bart Simpson meme that when they go back like that. Like, I did that.
And this is not just for Michelle, this is for everybody. It's okay to tell your client, this is what it is. Let me know when you're ready to proceed. It's 100% fine. Look, right now, the going rate for a cruise to Aruba is starting out at this. If that works for you, I would love to put a package together for you. Would love to work with you. Let me know. It's okay. There are going to be some cases where the client is just not realistic. We don't throw them away. It may be, instead of Aruba, are you open to Cabo? Are you open to Cancun? Are you open to the Bahamas? Like, sometimes it's a matter of, why did you want to go to Aruba? Some people want destinations, but they don't actually know why they want to go there. And I experienced that a lot when people come wanting to visit Tulum, and then when they find out, okay, well, it's a 90-minute drive once you get to Camp, like all those extras. They just saw Tulum one day on a TikTok video, and then they decided that they wanted to go get married in Tulum now, and you have to make it happen for $1,000 per person. So it's okay to redirect your clients. And I think that when we do the travel consultations and the phone calls, it helps to just set the realistic expectations across the board, if that makes sense. Portia, I see your hand up.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Michelle.
So my question is on Africa. And me and you have had this discussion about this exact same trip.
Okay.
So I did the Africa thing for this client. I went to Go Way. Go Way worked up the whole entire package. She wanted a 10-day trip, including a safari and everything that goes along with it. So they worked it up. Initially, she said that the budget was $3,000 per person. I backed up and I said, no, It's not gonna happen.
Mhm.
Uh, so she was like, well, the group is not budging. It's a group of 20 people.
Yeah, they're not gonna
And
be budging at never mind. Sorry, go ahead.
the group is not budging on it. So I said, okay. So I went to GoWay and I told GoWay, you know, what her budget was. And even the group coordinator at GoWay was like, not happening.
Right.
So she said, we'll get it as close as we can, but it's definitely not happening.
Yeah.
So we got it at 6,000 per person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all 10 days, 3 different locations. It's a nice little trip. Like I want to go myself. But I gave her that and she was like, they won't budge
Mm-hmm.
off of the $3,000. So I'm like, if they won't budge, I don't know what else to do other than cutting the days or
Mhm.
cutting the locations. But she doesn't want to do either one.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. Where are they flying from?
They are flying from 4 different states. So Texas, North Carolina, Georgia, and California.
Okay. And
And then
are they just averaging out the flight prices when they're giving you that 3,000?
well, no, they said that that's the 3,000 without the flights. They got the $3,000 budget. They're not counting the flights right
Not
now.
counting flights. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Cool.
Mhm.
Okay. So I would do 2 things. One, I would go to one other vendor and I would quote the same trip just so
Okay.
that you can get a comparison, apples to apples, 10 days to 10 days. What is this looking like? Because you never just want to take one and like that's the only answer in the world. So you have GoWay. So what would the only one, African LLC, that's the only one that's in my head right now. So I would go, hey, what would this package be, right? If they say the same, no, it's $6,000, then you know, okay, I'm getting it from 2 different sides that this is what the price is. That's where I have to have a real conversation with the client. I'm going to take out my calculator. I'm going to say, all right, 3,000, and I'm going to do it right now. $3,000 per person divided by 10 days. You want to spend $300 a day in Africa, including your accommodations, excursions, and anything else.
Mhm.
And then I would probably pull up the Hilton website or the Marriott website. And if you want to stay there for 10 days, you're creeping close to $200 per person. So like sometimes you just have to like put the pieces together, not in a disrespectful way, but hey, look, this is 2023. Things cost differently than they did in 2020 and 2021. And this is what I can offer you. Let me know if you would like to proceed. And if they say no, then not in a sassy, I feel like I'm coming off super sassy tonight, but not in a sassy way, but like find it yourself. They're not going to, we have to trust that we have the best preferred partners. We have the best information. And if it's 6,000, it's 6,000. You can shorten the trip and offer her, this is the price for 7 days instead of 10. You can offer her, if your dates are flexible, maybe if we leave on this day of the week instead of that day of the week, we can get some price adjustments. So, and yeah, that's really, does anybody else on the line have any suggestions for Portia? But that's really all that I would do. I would really put the money into perspective. I would get another quote from a different supplier, and then I would shorten the dates or change the dates and see, because they may be traveling at like a peak time. Maybe there's a convention. Maybe there's an event taking place at that same resort and it's causing the supply and demand to shift the pricing. So if they moved by a week, would that do anything for the pricing? You can do that, but I would not spend a whole lot more time trying to make it fit into her requirements, because their requirements just may not be realistic right now.
Okay.
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 And I promise y'all I'm not this sassy. I know many of y'all don't know me. I'm not this sassy, but I would take that package and I'll put it all over social media. available serious inquiries only. I've got a 10-day trip. I put the whole package all over TikTok, and I would tell people $6,000 per person, first come, first serve, serious inquiries only. And I would sell the heck out of that package at the appropriate price, and somebody is going to buy it. Somebody wants to go to Africa, and somebody's going to pay somebody knows how much it's going to cost to go there. That's what I would do. So don't lose out on the work that you've done with GoAway. Go promote it. Go promote it. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. And welcome everyone. I know we have more people than were on initially when we started, so I want to just take a pause and say welcome again. I'm Tiffany Dion. I'm one of your IntelliTravel ambassadors. I love this 1K group that we have, all in efforts to help everyone earn their first or their next $1,000 in travel commission. So we always like to start off with just a live Q&A. If you all have any questions about anything, you can feel free to unmute, or you can also put it in the chat and I'll address it. And then tonight we're going to be talking about prepping for Black Friday. I hope that all of you all are getting ready for a swarm of people to come and want to book with you and want to make connections with you. So just last call if there are any questions, and then we're going to dive in. Go ahead and pull up this.
Yes, I have a question. And I'm not sure if it was covered because I joined about 5 to 10 minutes ago. But I was just trying to see, with us being new, starting out, I'm spending a lot of time, kind of like what you were saying with the previous person with GoAway. I'm spending a lot of time, not just with GoAway, but just myself, doing quotes and researching and everything. And then people are not, they'll say they're going to look over it or they don't do it. So I know some people charge like a research fee, but with us just starting out, I'm kind of hesitant on doing that because we kind of need all the clientele we can get. So how do you manage that and not spend a lot of wasted time and effort for somebody not to even book it in the end?
Yeah, that's a great question. I want to tell you a couple things. Number one, it's impossible to get rid of 100% of the looky-loos. No matter how seasoned you are, there are going to be some people that come knocking and they want to treat travel advisors like we're Google. And they feel like getting a quote is like, I don't know, changing the channel on the TV. Hey, can I get a quote real quick? I'm thinking about going X, Y, and Z. One of the best things that you can do for yourself are utilize IntelliTravel's forms, or for some agents make their own, which is fine. But number one, the customer profile form in your IntelliTravel back office, that has saved me so much time. And I'm going to share my screen real, something just happened with my back office. Okay. I'm going to share my screen very quickly so that we can just point some things out. All right, so along the left-hand side, you have your customer profile form. Everybody is required to fill this out. Now, again, some people will create a jot form or use different websites, which is fine as long as you're collecting the information. You want to know where they're going. You want to know the details, if they have a budget in mind, if they have dates, if they have a specific destination in mind. One of the greatest questions that I started asking people was, have you already started researching this trip? Because they may have already checked out 10 resorts, but they didn't tell you, and you don't want to end up checking out those same 10. So that's a good question to ask into the rotation. Have you already started researching this trip? Are you already working with a travel advisor? Ask them that question. You do not want to be working on a quote and they're actually talking to 3 different people at once to see who gets them the best price, and we're all IntelliTravel agents all searching on the same system, right? You want to ask them, from the time that I find the perfect package for you, how soon will you be deposit ready? There are some people who are just looking around and they don't plan on making deposits until next year. Those people would receive less priority than someone who says, I'm deposit ready right now. I'm looking to lock in the price before the prices continue to go up. So some people are more serious and some people are just browsing, right? And we want to know, not that we're not giving the browsers good customer service, but we need to know where they stand. I'm not going to spend an hour searching pricing for someone who's not going to do a deposit until January, because the pricing isn't even going to be the same. So I may do a very generic aerial view type of quote for them and say, prices are around about this. And then when you're ready to lock in your price, I can get you confirmed pricing. So that's part of it. Another thing that I would tell you to add into your rotation is asking people, have you ever worked with a travel advisor before? There are some people, and I didn't realize this until when I've been here for about 6.5 years. My first year, I didn't even realize that some people didn't know what travel agents do. And I was doing quotes for people, and I was logging into Facebook, you all, and then I was seeing that they were on those trips. And there was one person, maybe after like the third time, I just got upset, and I reached out to the person. I was like, "What? How dare you? Like you wasted my time. I did all this research, da 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 da." And the woman said, "I thought your job was to research trips." She thought that that's what I was there for, that I found people the best deals and then they go on their way. And from our conversation, I genuinely believed her. She wasn't like being malicious, but I learned in that moment, I have to make sure that people know how to do business with me. So I have to set the expectations during our travel consultation. So they fill out the customer profile form. Then I use Calendly. I invite people to set up a travel consultation with me. I'm not doing any work until we get on the phone or on Zoom or meet in person so that we can talk about this trip. But in most cases, I do it over the phone, right? So on the phone, I'm going through that customer profile form that they've already filled out. But before the conversation is over, I'm telling them two things. Number one, I'm making sure that they understand why they need to book with me. So that can be, I work with the #1 host agency in the world. I've gotten this and that certification. I'm certified with Norwegian Cruise Lines, or I'm whatever your credentials are, if you have any credentials. And then I let them know how the process works. My services are free. I get paid when you take this trip that you booked through me. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, within 48 hours of receiving the quote that I send you, I'm going to ask you to get back to me and let me know your thoughts. If I don't hear from you, you will be hearing from me. Is that fair for us to follow up by Friday? And then the person has to acknowledge that I'm sending you information, but there has to be communication that comes back. During that consultation, I'm also going to tell them, here's what's going to happen next. You're going to select your favorite option. Once we get that selected, I'm going to send over my credit card authorization form, and you're going to fill that out and return it back to me as quickly as possible, because the pricing and the availability are subject to change at any time until the deposits are made. And so I want you, as soon as you pick what you like, I want us to get that locked in. So that way they know upfront, in order to book with me in this agency, you have to provide your credit card. I don't have a payment link for you for this particular trip. And sometimes you might have a link for them, but in most cases, it's just having that, setting those expectations up front oftentimes will help to weed out the people that are not serious, because most people won't even fill out the customer profile form if they're not serious. You know what I mean? Like that helps you weed out the people that were they just woke up today and decided that they want to go to Cancun tomorrow and they want you to give them a price. So that helps. Yolanda, is that helpful at all? Or are you doing those steps now?
So I'm sitting here snapping because all of those are things that I probably needed beforehand, because even just like you said, setting those expectations, asking if they're working with agents, because I have had people say, well, I've checked on this or I've talked to this person. So that could have helped me eliminate that, especially if they're IntelliTravel agents. And then another thing that I definitely like that you mentioned is just giving a general idea of what pricing is if they're not ready to book, because every single quote that I have done, I put it, I do it as though they're ready to book now, including doing the pictures and spreadsheets, all of this stuff. So I'm wasting a lot of time, and I probably only have had maybe 20% of people actually book out of all of those. So that definitely will help, because just knowing that they're not ready and just give them a general, I don't have to put that much time and effort into it. So
That's right.
that's definitely helpful.
That's right. And we can nurture those relationships of the people that aren't ready. So you can give them great customer service without putting in all that manual work of doing the quote. You can have a spreadsheet and say, okay, I know Tiffany wants to do a Virgin Voyages cruise. She's not ready yet, but she'll be ready in December. So like have a follow-up list, keep track of those people so that they don't slip through your pipeline. And all right, you know what? I'm gonna send Tiffany a cruise meme in a week. So we had our consultation. She's not ready. I'm not going to put a lot of effort into it, but I'm still going to drip. I'm still going to engage so that at the end of the day, when that person's ready to book, I'm their person. I stay at the top of their mind, and you can still start to build a relationship, still build rapport with that potential client. So when the money does come, it's like, oh, all right, Yolanda, I'm ready. Let's do this. Can we work on a quote now? And so they understand you and you understand them. So I think that if you all don't currently do that, having a follow-up list for your travel clients and your potential clients is a great way to go. It'll help you build that pipeline so that when they can make those deposits and they can book those trips, you're really good there as well.
Okay,
That was a
thank you.
great question. Yeah, you're welcome. You are very welcome. All right, so I'm gonna stop screen sharing here. Any other questions, you all? There's nothing off limits, I promise. All right. Yes. Thank you, Portia, for the reminder. Yes. Promote those quotes. So you put quotes out, people didn't book it. Please, if you utilize social media, put those quotes all over social media. It can be you can do a deal of the day, you can do a deal of the week, make it big, deal alert, whatever it is, and really just be excited about that destination. So if you were promoting a trip to Vegas and the person fell through, I would do a live video or Instagram reel or TikTok, and I would say, here are the top 5 reasons to go to Vegas in 2023. Here are the top 5 reasons that you need to go to this destination. And then, oops, look at that. I got a deal for you. You know what I mean? So make it fun and don't feel bad about the experience, because even when we do the quotes, even if they disappear, you're still sharpening your skills. You're still strengthening yourself as a travel advisor. Oh, Shakisha, I see she probably won't find anything better than what GoAway offered for 10 days to Zimbabwe and Victoria Falls. It starts at almost 11,000. That is great information. Thank you very much for sharing that. That's great information. I love it here. I would like to ask, what is the best way to promote group travel or bookings? Okay, can you either unmute or just elaborate a little bit? Do you mean promote like to your warm market so that they'll book a group, or tell me what you mean?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
My throat is a little dry, that's why I'm asking.
Oh,
But yeah, I just wanted to I guess it would be to the warm market to see, if I get a little bite, to see if anybody would be interested in maybe doing group travel. It doesn't necessarily have to be, people who know each other, that, maybe it's like a lot of people who are solo and they want to go on a trip, but they don't have anybody to go on the trip with.
Yep. That's perfect. Do you have a specific destination and dates and brands picked out already, or are you still at the beginning stages?
I don't, but like I had an idea to do like a girls trip type of thing with Virgin Voyages,
Yep.
Since it's adult only.
Okay, perfect. So we're gonna go on this. I'm just taking notes. So you want to do a girls trip, you want to do solo travelers, and you want to do Virgin Voyages, right? Okay. When do you want to go?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure.
Okay, that's okay. I'm gonna show you how to figure that out. All right. And do you know where you want to go?
Probably the Caribbean.
Okay. Do you like Dominican Republic? Do you like all Virgin Voyages that leaves out of Miami is going to go to the private island in Bimini, but some of them may go
Mhm.
to Mexico, some may go to DR, and then some may go to Key West.
Probably Bimini.
Okay. Oh, Bimini, you're gonna get Bimini regardless, which is great because that private island is awesome, or the beach club, excuse me. Okay, so here's what my suggestion is, and then if anybody else has done something similar and you want to share, go ahead and throw it in a chat as well. So you want to do a girls trip. What social media platforms do you use, Shakisha?
Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, but not really so much on TikTok
Okay,
because I'm still trying to get familiar with it.
yeah.
But those are the three that I use.
Okay, that's perfect. So Facebook and Instagram, perfect. One of the fastest ways that you can do it on Facebook is looking for groups for solo travelers. So not every solo traveler group on Facebook is run by a travel advisor. So sometimes you need to just kind of poke around, maybe message the admin or look at the group description. And there may be a solo traveler group that is not run by a travel advisor, and you can talk to the admin privately, let them know, hey, I'm an independent travel advisor. I am putting together a huge solo cruise movement, and I would love to know if that's something that would be a good fit for your group. Because it's not that you need to go out and
Okay.
find 20 people and 40 and 50 and 60 people for this group cruise. You need to find a Pied Piper. You need to find someone else who's already connected to solo travelers or connected to people who would want to do solo travel. That could be single mom groups. That could be ooh, and now my brain is like rapid firing for you. It could be so many different groups of women that want to do a girls trip. You can, so that's one lane, is you finding a Pied Piper. Another lane is I would go onto social media and I would just do a poll. I would do a video, I would do an actual poll, and I would ask people, hey, have you ever wanted to go? Tell me if this is you. You're in a group chat with a bunch of women, you're planning to go on a girls trip, but then you never get to go because everybody cancels at the last minute and you didn't want to travel by yourself. Like I would, take time and make it sound cuter. But I would put the pain point out there. Whatever the problem is that, a lot of people have, a lot of women have experienced that, put that out there and you be the solution for that problem. So your girls trip and your solo traveler cruise is a solution for every woman who wants to go on a cruise, maybe is like an introvert, so I don't want to be around people all the time, but I want to know people on the ship, like just in case, and like we can party together, maybe have a couple of meals, but then we can all go our separate ways as well. So talk to the pain points of people who a solo traveler girls trip is going to be the solution for. Talk to those people, make videos speaking to them, use hashtags addressing them. So hashtag solo traveler, hashtag girls trip, hashtag, and you may have to do some research on the hashtags. I don't want to like put you in a box there, but all of my
Right.
content would be surrounding the value that people are going to get by being on that cruise ship, the community and the relationships that you're going to build by coming on this girls trip, the ability to have the solo cabins, because Virgin Voyages has solo inside cabins, some solo ocean view cabins. And so let's pick a ship in a sail date that doesn't have the single supplement, because that's a pain point. It's a pain point for people that want to travel alone to have to pay double the price just to be in a cabin by themselves. So if you can get on Virgin that has solo cabins, you're relieving that pain point for them. So I would do a lot of marketing around the value of your trip. And then I would do a poll and ask people, hey, if I planned a solo girls trip in April or October, which one would you come to? If we were going to Dominican Republic and the Bahamas, or Cozumel in the Bahamas, which one would you come to? If we were cruising for 4 days or 7 days, which one would you come to? So you can start to poll your warm market and your audience and figure out what do they want. And then when enough people tell you what they want, then that's where you go and, all right, we've got our date, we've got our ship, we've got our itinerary. Now it's promotion. Now I'm telling friends and family, hey, you all, you may or may not be aware, but I'm hosting a solo girls trip in April of next year or 2025 or whenever. I would love your support if you could share my flyer on your social media. If you could share this with any other women in your lives who you think would want to go on their first cruise or want to go on their next cruise. And then it's just a machine and you're just promoting. And when I say that, I want to say that carefully because you're not only talking about this cruise on your social media, you're talking about your life, your family, your hobbies, whatever. But when you're talking travel, you're putting that in people's faces so they know they can get this solo cruise from you and you're going to be there and it's going to be a great time. I hope that was helpful. I know that was a lot.
It is very helpful, but I think that the thing that not necessarily a struggle, but like whenever I post, I have a lot of people that like to watch. They don't really engage in what I'm posting. So maybe, I don't know, maybe what I'm posting is not interesting enough. I don't really know, but I really don't get that much interaction on Instagram. But
Okay.
like on Facebook, that's where I get more engagement.
It's
But
normal. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
mhm.
So
I wasn't gonna say much more.
it's normal to have some platforms perform better than others. I think just like I feel like there's a cruise ship for everybody, I feel like there's a social media platform for everybody. And someone may excel on Snapchat and not on TikTok. There are people that I know do great business on LinkedIn, and I couldn't get anybody to look at a page on LinkedIn, but put me on a different platform and I'll get, hundreds of views or thousands of views. So if you're doing well on Facebook, then just double down and focus more of your efforts on Facebook. It's okay if Instagram is not hitting. It may be the way that you are, it may be we can't post the exact same things on each platform and have them work because the audiences receive that information a little bit different. So maybe on Instagram, focus on reels, focus on videos and pictures. And then maybe on Facebook, you're kind of tweaking your angle a little bit. But when it comes to, I just lost my thought. Oh no. Sorry. When it oh no, it was good. When it comes to social media in general, it'll come back. It's normal that not every platform is doing it. Now remember what I had to say to you. Make sure that you're doing a call to action though. If you are posting something, every time we post, no matter who it is, right? We have to know what the purpose is behind that post. Am I posting today for likes? Am I posting for comments? Like, am I looking for engagement? Am I posting to make a sale? Am I posting to increase my followers? So what is the purpose of the post? We have to know that before we press that submit button, before we press that post button, but make sure that you're doing a call to action. So if you don't tell people, comment below with blah, 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 they're going to just keep scrolling past it. If you don't tell them to save this post for later, screenshot this, tag a friend who needs a cruise. Y'all, let me tell you something. That's my gem. And so as many of y'all want to steal it, steal it. You can post anything about a cruise and in the caption say, tag a friend who needs a cruise. People will tag their friends for whatever reason. Some people interpret that as if you're giving away a free cruise. That's not your problem. You didn't say that you were. You just said tag a friend who needs a cruise, right? And you're getting more cruise
Right.
lovers eyes on your page. So just make sure, Shakisha, and for everybody that you are doing those calls to action, whatever you want them to do. It can be, hey, have you ever been on a Virgin Voyages cruise? Comment yes or no below. Every single person who comments is now a potential client. If they have, okay, great. Did you book it with a travel advisor? If not, just want to let you know that anybody booking with my agency in the month of this is going to get extra sailor loot. Or if they didn't book with a travel advisor, great. Did you know that it's free to work with my travel agency? And I would love to be your point of contact, so you'll never have to call the 1-800 number again. And I don't mean to be giving y'all too much. I hope I'm not overwhelming anyone, but you can do a lot quickly if you just make a really big deal about this, make it a movement. That's what I'm going to leave you with. Make it a movement. If you want to do solo travel and girls trips, turn that into a movement, and the people will come for sure. If you build it, they will come.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. I know we have just a few more minutes. I'm going to go back through the chat and see if there are any other. Is it possible for multiple agents to collaborate together and book groups on the same trip? It is. I do this every year. We do an annual group outing, trying to be mindful of the language I use on this Zoom. But we do, and we cruise every year together, and each agent has their own group. Right now, Virgin Voyages has been extremely pleasant to work with this. So for example, yesterday, dining opened up for our sailing that's taking place in January. Not a bunch of, it's not a huge group, but it's, and so we got on the phone, we got on a 3-way call and said, hey, we're not in the same circle because we're separate travel agents under the same host agency, but can you put our dining reservations together so we can eat together? And very accommodating. So you can absolutely work together, leverage each other, and then it makes it more fun because everybody's promoting the same itinerary. We're all talking about, like, we have a lot of people going to Barcelona next year. And so it's a lot of people talking about the same itinerary, and it gets exciting. And then it makes your potential clients like, oh, there's something going on there. Like, all y'all are going to Barcelona. All right, now I got to go because I've always wanted to go, but I didn't have anybody to go with. But it's like 30 of y'all going. It looks like you're going to have a good time. Now I want to go. So you make it a movement. You turn it into a really big deal. You do announcements, you do posts, you get excited, and you educate people as to why they need to go on that particular trip. So the top 5 reasons to go to Barcelona, the top 5 reasons to cruise from Barcelona, the top reasons to go to this all-inclusive resort, fun facts about this Vegas hotel. Like, just build up a buzz so that people feel the energy of it. We sell them in their hearts first. Like, the money decisions are separate. It's an emotional decision first. When they get excited about a vacation, people will get the money to take whatever vacation. They'll make the accommodations, they will uplift it, whatever they need to do. But they want to be excited about it. They want to look forward to that vacation. So you can absolutely collaborate, depending on the travel supply that you use. Definitely still let the groups department know. Like, if people are booking into your group block, make sure that you've looped in the groups department so that you don't have any issues as far as commissions go. Carrie, I just put it out there on Facebook, and flyers in my restaurant work great. That's excellent. Flyers do really, really well. Yay. I love it. How do you gain connection to the big group team promoters, Pied Pipers, like, for example, the Tom Joyner Cruise, to book your own group on there? How do you get a big Pied Piper? I'm going to tell you guys, I booked my largest group cruise last year, and I found the woman on Instagram. She is a marriage counselor. And I want all of you all to think bigger. I want all of you all to know that you're good enough, that you're educated enough. And if you're not educated enough, that you have access to the education that you need to be educated enough to go after any shark, anybody who you want to position yourself for. But I went searching through Instagram, and you can search the different hashtags for, like, hashtag I want to take a cruise, or hashtag need a travel agent. When you're searching, I want you to think, what is my potential client typing in order to find me? And that's what you go and type in. So they may not be typing in hashtag travel agent life, but they may be typing in Florida travel agent because they're looking for a travel agent in Florida. They may be typing in, you know what I mean? So go onto social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram especially, and type in the things that are going to type in what they would be typing in to find you. So I came across her page. She was hosting marriage retreats. And she was hosting retreats like in different places. And I reached out and asked, have you ever thought about doing a marriage retreat on a cruise ship? And we set up a conference call. We had a long conversation. She interviewed me for about 30 minutes because it's kind of, okay, it's a complete stranger reaching out to me. So we had to build that relationship and we spoke. That one relationship with this marriage counselor turned into 75 bookings. And that was after the cancellations. Those were the ones that actually went on the trip. Now, those 75 people are all outlets. Those are all new connections, new warm markets. They all have careers. They all have groups that they're connected to. Some of them were also marriage counselors. So it's like you can find those Pied Pipers by going out to where they are. So what type of Pied Piper do you want and where would that person be? If you want a fitness instructor, go to fitness TikTok, go into the fitness side of Instagram, search fitness hashtags and find somebody with a large following and ask them, have you ever thought about doing a Zumba cruise? Have you ever thought about doing a yoga cruise? I'm a travel advisor. I would love to connect with you and talk to you about how I could help you promote more or how I could, I don't know, but everybody is always into what's in it for me TV. I'm not sure if y'all have heard that term before, right? So when you approach someone, always come from, here's how I can help you. I'm reaching out to you because I came across your page. I love what I saw, and I think that I could be a great assistance to you. I would love to talk about a collaboration with you. I would love to see you take your fitness course and teach on a cruise ship. So now instead of 100 people attending your class, you have access to 4,000 people on a cruise ship. Would that be of interest to you? There's someone on the team right now who, shouldn't have said that. There's someone who I know right now who went to an event and there was a man singing and he was doing like a Motown review. She got his business card. She got his YouTube channel. She took his YouTube page and sent it to Royal Caribbean and said, I would like to create a cruise where we could feature this person here. And this week she just got approved. They're creating a space for him to perform on their ship. So what did that just do for this man and his following? So now he's going to promote it to his YouTube channel, to his audience. She's the hero because, hey, I discovered you and I have you now performing on a Royal Caribbean ship in front of thousands of people. It's a win-win for everybody. He's going to promote it. She's going to get a really, really, really incredible commission check. And it's going to open up more and more relationships because now she's doing a Motown cruise on Royal Caribbean. What's next? Maybe rock and roll, maybe R&B, maybe reggae. You know what I mean? And it doesn't even have to be music, but you see how like it just builds and builds and builds when we do one thing. So had to share that, and I hope that is helpful. Can you please verify what day and time you'll be doing this training? Oh no, this isn't rep training. This is our 1K group. So for everybody that's inside of the Facebook group for earning your $1,000 in commissions with your IntelliTravel business, we meet every Thursday at 7 Eastern, from 7 to 8 o'clock Eastern, yes. And so I hope that this was helpful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here because we're at the top of the hour. I value you all's time. This has been a great conversation. I love these questions. I'm going to record my Black Friday training for you that we didn't like really dive into, and I will post that into the group because I don't want to overload you all anymore, but I think that these were great questions. And I hope that everyone feels positively impacted and ready to continue to rock and roll. So if this was of value, let me know. And if not, and if you need more, as always, let me know. I wish you all a great evening, and I will see you guys in the group. This video will be uploaded within the next 24 hours. Thank y'all so much. Have a good night, everyone.